Hi everyone, welcome to the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. Well, it's just me in the kitchen tonight with John. Hiya John.
Hello everyone.
He's going to participate a bit more tonight. I've got him a little bit more organised. So quite a lot of you have asked me to go back to basics. So what we thought is, beginning of the year, it's a perfect time to just let's start back to basics. And when bakers start baking, the first thing that they make is cupcakes. So I thought what we'll do is we'll have a play tonight in the kitchen and make cupcakes. For those of you who don't know me, please say hello. Let us know that you're a newbie. Let us know where you are in the world. You know, give us a little shout out. John will shout out. We've got a fantastic audience that will be joining us tonight. The audience is just starting to grow, but they're a great team of people who watch us nearly every week. Most of them watch us every week, Mondays and Thursdays. Those who watch us both, let us know as well. Those who watch us every week on a Monday, let us know. Thursdays, let us know. Let's get giddy. So what I thought we'll do is we'll make some cupcakes with the flavoured icing sugar, and we'll make some chocolate cupcakes with the cocoa powder as well. I'm going to make a buttercream. I made one last week. I'm going to quickly make one up, and what we're going to do is we're just going to make basic butterfly cakes. Do you remember, you oldies like myself, when we were all little girls, we used to make butterfly cakes with our grandmas? So let's go back and make some of those, because those are what the kiddies like as well. They love it, especially if you make them with your grandchildren or your children. So John, how is our audience doing? Are they all coming together?
Yeah, we're up to 88 people watching, so hello to everyone.
Yep, fantastic. So what goes on in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen stays in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. The cupcakes that I'm baking tonight are not for you, so do not worry. They're not for the general public either. Well, I'm not eating them because I'm on a diet, but they will go out to family and friends and people who know me who are happy to take them, okay? So my hands have been washed. I'm not bothered that my hair is down. None of it's going in there. Do not worry, okay? All we're doing is just showing you how to make cupcakes. The other thing is, I am not a professional baker. I am a home baker. I enjoy baking, and I started baking about 6 years ago. I used to bake in my early 20s for my children. I started my family young. I was 18. Money was tight and I had to bake then for them. So as time went on, through my 20s I used to bake, and then I stopped baking. And then when I hit my 50s, I started again, and I had to go right back to the beginning. I know it sounds daft, but I really couldn't remember how to make a cupcake. And I've had all the same problems that you have. I've had peeling cupcake cases, I've had them soggy, I've had them sink, I've had them very crispy on the top. And what I will say is, if you have peeling cupcake cases, okay, it's generally your cupcake hasn't been baked enough, or it's the way you've set the pan down, okay? So when you brought them out in the oven, so I'll just give you, I don't know whether John can see on this camera. So when you bring them out of the oven, do not drop them like that, okay? Do not bang them. Do not take them out as they come out the oven and start dumping them on there, okay? They need to go on something that's going to allow some air to go around them. So these are perfect. We sell these, they're in packs of 3, okay? Packs of 3, and they're called cooling racks. They're absolutely brilliant. You actually stack them on top of each other. Bit hard for me to do this while we're here. Stack them on top of each other and then just sit your cakes in. So as you pull them out of the oven, sit them in, sit them on the top. So I've made these fresh in the last hour. I think I've just banged that camera. Were you on there, John?
No, we're okay.
So I've just made these in the last hour. I was meant to be all organised today, and I said to Maria, you know what, Maria, 12 o'clock, we'll get in the kitchen and we'll start baking and be really organised. Completely forgot I was going to the vets. Completely forgot I had to go somewhere else this afternoon. And then I got a ping message off the lady who does my nails at 4 o'clock telling me, at 3:30, telling me I was in for my nails at 4. So by the time I got home at 6:30, the madness has begun. But there you go, that's life. I've cooked 3 batches of cupcakes in that time. So I have done the normal cupcake recipe, okay? This is just with margarine, okay? So this is creaming sugar and margarine together. And then this one is with oil. You'll see that I've overfilled my cupcakes. Now some of you will like them. Are you on this camera, John? Mm-hmm. So some of them will like them. So these
come forward a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. So I've overfilled them. I've used a selection of cupcake cases just for you to see. Okay, so these are the paper ones. They're called Blossom. We have them on our website, and you'll see that the case is not peeling. When I took these out of the oven today, they've just gone on the cooling tray, and this is how they came out the oven. I've used foils, so we've got 1, 2, 3. I've used these new Wilton ones. They're a little bit greasy actually. Maybe I should have took them out. Foils. How many have we got here? And the Blossom ones. So I think that's all I used. Maybe these ones I should have taken out, but everything else is absolutely fine. But you'll see there is no peelers. Let me just ping it out. Ping it out. There we go. What I will say is they're probably not overbaked, overfilled the cases. Now these ones have just been made by sugar and margarine. So, oh well, you can see these. I think these are all the same. Yeah. So these are all the same. Aren't these lovely, these cases? Aren't they pretty? They're foil as well. So we sell all these on the website.
What are the racks called on the website?
They're called cooling racks.
And how much are they?
Stackable cooling racks. I have to be honest, Sean, you'll have to go to the website and have a look. So just let me tell you now where everything is. If you go to our website, sugarandcrumbs.co.uk, that is where you can buy everything. There's 3 places to shop, okay? So the first thing is that we've got the sale on. The sale is running nicely. Now when we started the sale, we didn't put everything in. So we put stock in, waited for that to go down, and then we put other lines in. And basically, I keep putting posts on of all the new things. So last night I topped it up, we put cake lace in, we put chocolate drip in. What else did we put in? Sugar art?
Sugar art, cake lace.
I said cake lace. I don't know, but I put more things in. So go and have a look at that. So that's the sale. There's also the FB must-have. So FB means Facebook, and it's the Facebook Lives must-have. So that's here. So just go to there, look to today's date, and everything that we're using today is in there. Now, before Maria went today, I forgot to tell her a few things, and I will put them in after the live that we're going to use tonight. She did ask me, but things like piping bags and tips and things like that are not in there, but I will put them in when we finish the live tonight. Then the other thing is the sale of the icing sugars is not in the must-haves, and it's not in the offers either. You'll need to go to shop by brand, Sugar and Crumbs, or you can go to shop, flavoured icing sugars. Either way, you'll find the icing sugars, and the sugars are on a fantastic price. They're on at £2 a bag. So it's 500 grams, £2 a bag, and I'm going to show you how to bake with them. Lots of you haven't used them before, and they are delicious. So today I've used banana split. I've got some chocolate ones in the oven now, which I've used with our flavoured cocoa powders. I'm going to show you how to use that as well. And I'm going to make cherry bakewell in a minute. So I'm going to use the cherry bake ones. So when they come out of the oven, they do taste absolutely delicious. They're not strong, but you can definitely taste them. So it's also nice to enhance them with either a glazed icing sugar or with buttercream, which is what we're going to do. Yeah? So any questions, John?
No, not a lot. We've got a good audience. We've got 260 people.
Fantastic.
The cooling racks are $9.99. Thank you, Sharon, for putting that information on.
So John, do you want to just tell everybody what we're doing for a minute while I check my chocolate cupcakes?
Right, okay, a couple of things. Anybody who shares this Facebook Live enters our prize draw for a £25 voucher. So all you need to do is just share this Facebook Live to enter the draw, and I think the prize is drawn, what, a week later?
Yes,
would it be
Thursdays is Thursdays,
so
and Mondays is Mondays.
Okay, so Mondays is, the prize is drawn the following Monday, Thursday, the prize is drawn the following Thursday. So that was the first thing. A couple of other things, we've got classes coming up. There's cupcake bouquet classes. The first one is the 29th of January, so it's only a few weeks away. And then we've got one to follow up on the 19th of Feb and the 11th of March. All of those are filling up fast. We also have Amy Archibald here doing a wedding class on the 1st of February. That is a 2-day course, and that's also on the website. And then later in the month, 22nd of February, we have Michael Lewis Anderson here, who will be showing us how to do royal icing.
Yeah, brilliant.
And then 1st of March, we have Emily Coyle.
Don't forget, I've got a class in February.
I've got it, told you, 19th of February.
Did you mention that?
I
Did you
did.
remember the January one? You forgot the January one last week.
It said 29th of January.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing all right this week, aren't I?
It's only your second week training, love.
Oh.
If anybody is new in the kitchen, lots of the regulars here will tell you that John is my husband, and with that lovely Irish accent, and he gets a little bit nervous sometimes when he's shouting out a few things, but he's going to read out all the comments tonight, keep me in touch with what you all got to say, and he's going to repeat the offers and the classes and any questions you have. He will try and keep up with as many as you can, but he can't answer them all, okay? So do make sure you shout out hello, and give us a thumbs up and let us know if you're enjoying this. It's always really good. And don't forget to share, which is what John said. I'm going to do the draw for last Thursday's, which was John's first day back in the kitchen. What did we make last week? I was making buttercream. Oh, we've airbrushed them.
Yeah.
Did you like them? I took mine to the hairdressers. They couldn't believe them. Because even though you saw them here in the cameras, in real life, I actually physically seen them. They were fantastic. Has anybody give them a go? Because they were amazing. And they look so pretty. And I took mine to the hairdressers and they were like, wow, they just blinged. So, so we've got this on. So we're going to start baking now. So let's get all our things together. So what can you see on the camera there, John? Which camera are we going to?
Yeah.
So can you see in there okay?
The bowl needs to come this way, come towards me a little bit.
Yeah. It's just that when I put the lid down, you're not going to see it all. So I've just tried to...
That's fine.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, good.
That's fine.
All right then. So talking of offers, let me just tell you about these. Katie Sue have brought these wonderful cake toppers out. Now, I've put these on offer as well. They only came out in November. We listed them all in November, but January is the sale month and everything has to go in the sale. But I wanted to tell you about these because so many of you want to do decorations on your cakes with hoops, but then like you always ask, where do you get your hoops from? So we've got loads of different hoops. This one is a clear one. I just wanted to see how big it is. Yeah, so how big it is. Fine. Now this is perfect. So if you want to sit this on your cake and then put a little feature in the front, but it's ideal for tying all your roses. So like when you've been making your roses or your peonies or your little delicate things, you could do a little line of them round here. You could do little ones round here. You could just put them on the top and then have something in the middle. So they're lovely. They come in clear wood. So the wood effect, I haven't brought a wood one with me, but the wood effect, you could actually paint it if you wanted to. You could, I wouldn't say with paint, maybe with some edible paint to give it a little bit of colour, or just give it that nice wooden effect. There's happy birthday ones, there's a unicorn ones, they come in rose gold, they come in clear, they come in wood, come in gold, and there's some white ones as well. So I just thought I'd show you these, but I really just wanted to show you the size. So what have I done with that one now? There he is. So this one.
Just a question, can someone from Dublin, Ireland enter the draw from here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a problem because it's for a voucher.
Yeah.
And we just send that across to you by email.
Yeah. So
no problem entering from Dublin, and that's from Shauna.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, okay, let me just get some little bits then. So I'm just going to keep an eye on the oven because I've got some chocolate cupcakes in. So you're going to keep seeing me disappear in a minute.
So can you share this just while you're watching it, or do you have to go back to the Facebook page?
No, you can share it while you're watching it. So while you're sharing, don't share it into my own group, okay? I've shared it in there myself, but do go and share it with your friends. So go and share it with your friends, and just be careful of groups when you're posting them in groups, okay? Make sure the rules allow you to post or share in there. Some groups can be funny. We don't like people sharing in our group because sometimes we're not quite sure what the video is that they're sharing. And as much as them are innocent, we have had situations where people have shared a video that isn't really for our audience, or any audience, we might add. What else was I going to say to you? So do share, and we'll draw last Thursday's draw. We'll draw it later on tonight, okay? I hope you enjoyed Danielle's baking lesson on Monday. It was great fun. The chocolate brownies were amazing. The fudge was even more amazing. We had to get it out of here. There was that much of it because she made that lot here before she arrived. She made a big load while she was here, and we just had to send it down the warehouse because I've got to be honest, Maria and myself, we just couldn't keep our hands off it. It was so good. Has anybody give it a go yet? Don't wait. So I will start getting my bowls together. So I'm gonna measure straight into the bowl, okay? So first of all, I'm going to do the normal baking way, baking just with margarine, and then afterwards we'll do a batch with oil, and then we'll do a chocolate batch. So we're gonna do 3 batches. We should get them all done in time, fingers crossed. So let me get my margarine.
Okay, while Carol's getting that together, can everybody just let us know where you're from, where you are this evening?
Yeah, and if you're a newbie.
And if this is your first time watching this. Also, we just need to let you know we've got a fantastic offer from the Cake Decoration and Sugar Craft magazine. They are doing 3 issues for just £1 at the moment. So you'll be,
this month.
and it lasts for the whole of January. So if you want to do that, just check it out. You'll see it on our website on the home page. So that's just 3 issues for £1. And you don't have to sign up for any period of time. You can cancel at any time.
Right, let me just get part of that. Down here. Right, okay then. So you can be organised if you want to, and you can pre-weigh everything. We're going to do 8-ounce mixes. 8-ounce mixes, you know, a 4-ounce mix to me is a waste of time. A 4-ounce mix is just going to fill 1 8-inch tin. Okay, so if you've got a sandwich tin, that's all it's going to do. It's going to fill 1. And everybody wants at least 2 layers for a sponge cake, preferably 3 layers. So I'm going to do an 8-ounce mix, and that will make me about 16 cupcakes. Okay, 17 if I do them a little bit lower. So that's what we're going to make. So we're going to pop the bowl onto the scales, and I'm actually going to weigh the measurement straight into the scales. So
well, we've got people from all over.
fantastic.
We've got as far south as Southampton, as far west as Holyhead. We've got the Midlands. We've got the southwest in Cornwall. Newcastle up in the northeast. We've got Liverpool.
Fantastic. Goody good.
We've got people from Scotland. So thank you all for joining us.
My scales don't like this glass bowl. Let's put that on there a minute. Hold on. Right.
Dina's. We've got Dina's in Los Angeles as well. And is the fudge on YouTube?
The live is. Maria put all the live together. So yes, it is on YouTube. Right, I'm going to have to weigh these because the scales don't like the glass bowl on. I did them all in the silver bowl before. So we're going to make an 8-ounce mix. For those of you who want to know grams and cups, you're just going to have to convert it. It's dead easy. Just go to Google and put in 8 grams, 2 cups, or 8 grams, 2 ounces. No, sorry, 8 grams. 8 ounces to grams, 8 ounces to cups. Yeah, so we're doing an 8-ounce mix. So just let me sort my scales out. There we are. Right, we're doing 8 ounces. So we're just going to do a basic cupcake recipe. All you regular bakers know how to bake, but there's newbies who don't. And you know, people have asked me, they do ask me, Carol, can you just start again? I'm just new, can you start again? Now, we all have recipes. Everybody has their favourite recipe. I'm not saying you have to use mine, okay? What I'm saying is this is the way I do it. It's the way my grandma showed me how to do it. I'm quite happy with it. Just needed a gentle reminder a couple of years ago.
So we've got Leslie all the way from Shetland. So don't get much further north than that.
No, is that Leslie Smith?
Yep.
Yeah, hi Leslie. I only remember because of how far away she is. Right, so we've got the margarine in there. We're going to give it a beat. I'm going to move the speaker just over here a little bit, just so that you don't hear, try and make it less noise of the mixer going. So let's get the mixer on, and then what we're going to do is we're going to measure the flavoured icing sugar. So we're going to make cherry bakewell. So for those of you who don't know what the flavoured icing sugars are, because a lot of you have joined our community group or you've joined our page, and some of you actually don't know what Sugar and Crumbs is. It's actually the name of our store, and the reason that we called it the name of our store is that when we first started Sugar and Crumbs, all we was going to make was flavoured icing sugars. We had no intentions of actually having a shop. It was just about the icing sugars, which is why the store was called Sugar and Crumbs. The flavoured icing sugars, we have had up to 56 flavours over the year, but we do take flavours off. You can see John rolling his eyes now because it gets a bit manic when we have that many. But we do take flavours off because they're seasonal. But if you keep up onto the website, and I think Maria is starting to do some little links under the Sugar and Crumbs flavoured icing sugars, winter ones, summer ones, you know, seasonal ones. Now the cherry bakewell is an interesting flavour. It's one of my favourite flavours, and it's part of the reason why I like natural flavoured icing sugar. Almond, I absolutely love almond flavouring. So let me just get that a little cleaned up a little minute. Just got to go and get my cupcakes out of the oven. 1 minute. Come on, John, carry on.
Right, well, we've got people from all over the UK, and we've also got people from the US. We've got Zoe from New Zealand. We've got Jenna from Washington, USA.
Hey.
And pretty much we've got people from the south coast all the way to the Shetlands.
Hey,
so, thank you very much everyone for joining us. So, another thing that we need to let you know, some of you may have seen on the group and on the page today that we are doing some demos in conjunction with Crafters Companion.
Let me stop you, John. Sorry. So I just needed to run away and get these out of the oven. So I'm going to make a batch of these. So I've just got these out of the oven, and they're actually chocolate lime cupcakes. So I'm going to put these into cool.
Okay. Yes, we are doing some demos. We had great success with our demos at our warehouse down here in Stockport. And we are now doing some demos in conjunction with Crafters Companion, who are based in Newton Aycliffe up in the northeast. We'll be doing a Facebook Live with them on the 6th of February, and then on the 7th we will be doing a demo at the Newton Aycliffe store at 10 AM. If you check the Facebook group and the Facebook page, there are links where you can book online for those demonstrations. They cost only a £5, so it's £5 for a 2-hour demo. So on the 7th it will be Newton Aycliffe. On the 8th of February we will be doing a demo at their store in Chesterfield, and the following Saturday, on Saturday the 15th of February, we'll be doing a demo at their store in Evesham. So what we are really looking forward to is getting out and about, going to different parts of the country, which gives us an opportunity to meet different people. So I think we're back now to Carol.
We are. I just had to interrupt him because nobody could hear him doing that with his foot. And I could hear it. So, right, so what John was saying about the classes is, we do demonstration mornings down at our warehouse once a month on a Saturday. I haven't lined up this year's yet, if I'm honest, mainly because we knew that we were working with Crafters Companions in February. And we wanted to get that out of the way, and then we're going to start maybe looking at things, whether we're going to bring them back March, April, May. So John and I need to look into that. Talking about the live demos, the Facebook Live that we will be doing, it was on a Thursday. It won't be on our channel, it will be on Crafters Companion, so I'll be emailing you all and asking you to come and join us over there. On the Friday, is the first demo, is it?
Yeah, Friday the 7th of February.
If it sells out, message them, because we can get a second session in, but we have to fill the first session first. So we can do a morning and we can do an afternoon. So what we want to do is get the morning session filled first, and then once it's full, if you want to, email them, message them, tell them you want to see if you can open up a second session. But they won't open it at the moment, because the last thing we want is 2 sessions half full. We want to get 1 full and then the second one full. So we've now got the margarine here in our mixer. So I'm just going to turn it on again, get my spatula, and And what I was going to say to you about the flavoured icing sugars is, almond is my favourite flavour. And I used to love making cherry almond cupcakes and cherry almond tarts, Bakewell tarts, when I was a young girl. But when using a liquid essence, I found that I've got a bit of a shaky hand, and I've still got a shaky hand. So when I used to put the 1 teaspoon into the mix, it was always overflowed. And if anyone's ever used the liquid essence, when you overflow it, it's really powerful and strong, and there's no way you can dilute your mix. So you eat your cake and it's like, oh gosh, that really is almondy. So I wanted to find something that would make it a convenient product, that the consistency of the flavour would be the same all the time. And that's why we've used the natural flavouring. The other thing with the natural flavouring is it's suitable for nut allergy sufferers. So this has got no nut in it, because all the natural flavouring comes from a plant-based source. It's freeze-dried, it's pulsed into a liquid, it's freeze-dried, and then it comes out to us. Now, it's the most expensive way to make flavouring. And you know, when we speak to people who supply our flavouring for us, they're always saying, have you not thought about doing liquids carrots? So much cheaper. But we like it like this because we want to be able to offer you the convenience. And you know what, we all love baking at night time. Who wants to run to the shop and get strawberries in the middle of the night, or bananas, or whatever else? So we like it. And it also means that every bag is exactly the same flavour. So if you know, it doesn't, you don't ever get one batch stronger than another batch. So let me just see how this is doing. So in here I've got 8 ounces of margarine. Now I do like to just get this nice and whippy, which we're going to do. So it's nice and soft, you can see that now.
So just a quick point there, Sarah's just saying the Chesterfield one doesn't have the demo on it. It should do now. I checked it just before we went live,
and it was on, wasn't it?
And it had gone on, but it wasn't on earlier today.
Yeah, I did put up a response to say that it would go up within the next 48 hours. And John, just before we went live, John did say, oh look, it's gone up, so we're pleased about that. So go and get booked on as quick as you can. Now, lots of you have asked, can we go elsewhere around the country? This is something that we're doing with Crafters Companion. We're working with them. They've actually invited us along and asked us would we do this with them. And we thought, what a great opportunity. And they've only got 3 stores. So we can't, you know, if we went on a road trip, where would we go? As much as I would love to come and visit you all, it's like, where would we go? But if you know of an outlet that's got lots of stores and you want to get in touch with them and ask them to get in touch with us, then we'd be more than happy to talk to them. I just see John there like that, on a road trip. Should we hire a camper van, John?
Shall I press the stop switch?
Pardon?
Shall I press the stop button?
So, got my margarine. Now, I'm not using butter, okay?
There's Claire coming to see us in Chesterfield.
Fantastic. I'm not using butter. You can use butter. There's nothing wrong with using butter, but I've always used margarine. And then, so we're on an 8 ounce mixture, remember? I've weighed out the flavoured ice and sugar. Now, all our ice and sugars are white in colour. Have you got that on the camera there, John? So all our ice and sugars are white in colour apart from the chocolate ones. Now, if it says white chocolate, obviously it would be white in colour. If it just says chocolate, it means it'd be brown in colour. We do have a couple of seasonal ones that are a beige colour, and that's because we've added cinnamon to them. So when in the winter we've got mulled wine and we've got apple crumble, they've got like a little beige colour to it. But we like them white. We've decided not to colour them. The reason we've decided not to colour them is colouring as additives in. And it doesn't always make them suitable for a vegetarian or vegan diet. So what we've done is kept this completely natural. So all our sugars are suitable for a vegan and vegetarian diet. They're also gluten-free. Sugar is gluten-free, okay? But not all of you are aware of that. So
Dina has said we could come to Los Angeles. Well, we may make an exception
you know what? Yeah.
for that.
Dina's, get in touch with all the stores in Los Angeles. Talking about that, quite a lot of you have asked us, do we supply to America? Well, we do. We supply to 2 stores in America. One is Country Sweetheart Kitchen.
Country Kitchen Sweetheart.
Okay, Country Kitchen Sweetheart. What did I say? Country Sweetheart Kitchen. So Country
I don't
Kitchen
know,
Sweetheart.
but it wasn't right.
And the other one, is it the Little Sweet Chalet?
The Sweet Chalet Shop.
Sweet Chalet Shop. Okay, so they're the two suppliers in the USA. Now we do want other suppliers, but you know they're not going to come to us. Our product is quite a heavy product, and they're not going to come to us unless they know about us. And the only way they can know about us is you have to contact them. So if you've got your favourite supply store in the USA, you don't go and tell them. Say, come and watch Sugar and Crumbs, watch their lives, we want their sugars. And that's the only way we're going to get in touch with them. America is such a big country, there's just no way that John and I can contact people over there. But it would be better if it was like big stores who've got several shops, because they can buy bigger amounts, and then we can get it across there on pallets. It makes it a lot cheaper, it brings the price down. So you'll see that I've added in the sugar now. So we're on 8 ounces of margarine, 8 ounces of flavoured icing sugar, and then we're going to do 4 eggs. The eggs is always half the amount of your sugar and margarine. So we're going to do 4 eggs. I use large eggs. I don't weigh my eggs. You know, some people are really particular and they weigh their eggs and everything. I don't do that at all. So what I do is I get my mixer on now, and I pop in 1 egg at a time. Oh, 2 went in. There we go. Slippy little fellas. So while that's being incorporated, let's weigh out the flour. Now my favourite choice of flour is McDougall's or McDougall Supreme Cake Flour. I really love that, I absolutely love it. But you can use any self-raising baking flour, okay? So this one is from the pantry, which I think is this one, Aldi, John?
Yeah, the pantry Aldi.
So this one's Aldi. To be fair, there's nothing wrong with it. I just like the McDougall ones because it brings a lighter sponge. But you know what, use a good, use self-raising flour. I don't sieve. You can sieve if you want to. I don't sieve. You'll see that I don't sieve our icing sugars either. Generally, when I get flour, our icing sugars you don't need to sieve. When I get flour, I sort of see how it is, and if it's okay in the bag, I don't sieve. If it's been stored in the cupboard for a couple of weeks, then I may sieve it. It just depends how it comes out in the bowl. With this, you do not need to add baking powder, okay? It's already in it. That's why it's called self-raising. And some of you will wonder what's gone wrong with your cakes, and it's because you've used self-raising and you've used baking powder. Don't use both. So it's 8 ounces of flour.
Why do you mix the margarine first before adding the sugar? I usually mix both together.
Yeah, personal preference. Yeah, personal preference. There's no reason really, just personal preference. I just like to beat it until it's really nice, light, white and fluffy. It's so hot in this kitchen, sorry. And I've got so many lights on me in here. My son came in early and he went, oh my goodness, it's so bright in here, but it may not look bright to you, but it really is bright and hot. Yes, it's just something I've always done. I just like to see the margarine, even if I'm using butter for a Madeira cake, I like to whip that till it's really nice, light and fluffy. I don't think it really matters, you can mix them both together. Some people like to do an all-in-one cake mix. Now I don't like doing an all-in-one cake mix. So 2 eggs have already gone in, just going to put another egg in. Right,
Gemma, who is in the US, was asking what was the name of the store again. It was the Sweet Chalet Shop, which is based in Florida. I can't remember exactly where. And Country Kitchen Sweetheart. And I will look up and find out where they are. So they don't necessarily have to be close to you because they both sell online. So can obviously deliver to you. And Tina Pines just booked on the Chesterfield store and doing the 220-mile round trip.
Oh, good girl. So I know Tina, I've met Tina at the shows, great lady. Lots of you commented about the Chester store not being online. It is online now. So if you do want to get booked on. If it does get booked up over the next couple of weeks, do email Crafters Companions and say you really want to come. I can't tell them that you want to come. You have to email them and tell them you want to come, and there's a possibility they will open up another session on that Friday and another session on the Saturday. And where are we the following Saturday, John?
Evesham.
Where's Evesham?
Worcestershire, which is sort of south of Birmingham.
Oh right, oh we are travelling up and down the country, aren't we? Yeah. We've got a busy 3 days, John and I, on our road trip together. Wouldn't that be fun, love?
Can't wait.
John and a food mixer and I. Right, so that's my eggs incorporated, okay? Now, let me just do this a moment. Turn it off. If your mix starts to curdle, do not worry, okay? So some of you might have a little bit of a panic. You don't need to panic. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to scrape this down. Are you on this camera, John?
I'm on the one looking down.
Yeah. So I'm just going to scrape it down just to make sure we've got everything. Yeah, then I'm going to give it another mix. And then I'm going to add the flour. Now, what you can do at this stage, if you don't like the curdling, you can add a spoonful of flour from your weighed out flour, not an additional spoonful, okay? And if you want, you can add 2. So, I've got the mixer the wrong way round, so the way I normally use it, so that you can see in the bowl. And I'm frightened to death that I'm going to turn it on while it's in the up position, and then we're all splattered in it, which will be fun, because I keep going to turn it on, because that's the way I would normally go to lift it up and down. So we've got this now incorporated. Going to bring this up. Now, for those of you who can bake, okay, you may be saying I'm doing it wrong. This may be the way that you do it. It doesn't really matter, really. We all have our own way. You know, we all have our own favourite ways, the way our grandma showed us, our favourite recipe book. You know, my favourite recipe books was Delia Smith. I love Delia Smith books. And I don't know if any of you I'm sure there's plenty of you that's my age. I don't know if any of you remember, and it was one of the first cookery books I got. Delia Smith brought out 3 books, and the first one, it went off madness, went off how to boil an egg. And she just basically went back to basics with everything. So there's 3 recipe books. I've still got them actually, and I did like watching all her stuff. I actually liked her as well. Goodness knows how old she is now. You eating our cupcakes, John?
Yes.
So we've now put the flour in. Now with the flour, okay, don't mix. So fold it in. So I don't know whether you can see this on the camera, John. Can you see that there?
Yep.
Let me just move that out of the way. So what to do is don't mix, fold in. And make sure you lift it all up so that you get it all from the bottom. You just keep lifting up. You will get little flour pockets, so make sure you lift them up. Yeah. Now, when I was a young girl, my grandma used to put in a splodge of milk or a splodge of boiled water. It's entirely up to you. So what I do is I use 1 tablespoon. Which camera are we on, John? So I use 1 tablespoon of cooled boiled water per 4 ounces. So we've got an 8-ounce mix, so there's 2. Okay, I believe it makes a more lighter cake mix. Again, you don't have to, it's just what I do. And then what I do then is just mix it all in. Now at this stage now, you can put it back in the mixer, but for no more than 30 seconds. So we're just going to put it back on the mixer, and then we're going to get these in our cupcake cases. We can get them in the oven, and then we're going to make another batch with oil. I've never made cakes with oil before, and I have to say I'm fairly impressed. And Danielle was here on Monday, and I've seen all the recipes with them for oil, and I don't know why I've not thought about making them with oil, because I'm sure lots of you have used packet mixers, and the packet mixers, they ask you to use oil and water. There we go. So I'm just going to quickly count. Right, no more than 30 seconds. And I think Mary Berry says 20 seconds. But can you see how nice and smooth that mix is now? You see? Right, so let me just move this mixture out of the way a minute. Move everything else out of the way. Where's my damp cloth moment? Feel free to answer any questions, John. How's our audience anyhow? They all still with us?
The audience is really good. We've got 336 people.
Are you all learning to make cupcakes? So I've got 2 tins here already lined out. Let's see how many we're going to fill. So do you know what? I might not do all of them. I might just leave half the batch. In fact, I will leave half the batch. Now, the other thing is with cupcakes as well, some people really like to weigh how much they're putting in their cupcake case. Personally, I don't really want to be sitting these, if you have a look at these, I don't want to be sitting these on scales and putting in 35 grams or 40 grams of mix. We're just going to eyeball it. So while I do this, John can flip between cameras, and then he can answer some of your questions. So feel free to shout out and I'll answer what I can.
I don't think there's any questions that I've missed.
Well, while you're looking in here...
People saying that they do use oil for their cakes.
Yeah. Well, good. While we're using oil, I've done my first batch tonight. So when you're looking at a normal mix, I'm using an 8-ounce mix. So I've used 8 ounces of sugar, 8 ounces of margarine, 8 ounces of flour, and 4 eggs. So what would I swap my margarine for in weight? Because I believe it's 3/3. So if we look at look at a whole, it's 3/4. Sorry, not 3/3. Yes, it is. What are you looking at? If you look at a whole one and divide it into quarters, then I want 3/4. When I looked at it for oil, so I need 3/4. You need less. Okay. Yes. So I'm just asking there. And to be fair, I did a batch before and it was lovely. When you fill in your cupcake cases, okay, you need to fill them just over half full. Don't underfill. So half full. So what I do is I go around them once, go around them again. Who likes licking the bowl? I remember having this conversation when I started baking many years ago. I had this conversation with John and he was like, oh God, who licks the bowl? I went, I do. Who else licks the bowl? He's going, it's got raw egg in it. I went, I don't care. But I would never eat raw egg otherwise. And it's amazing how kiddies love it, don't they? We pass that habit on to our kiddies. So,
is that a muffin tin or a cupcake tin that you're using?
I'm using a cupcake tin. Well, now, you can call it what you want. Let me show you. You've got the low version, which is for your fairy cakes, okay? And then you've got your deep version, which they call a muffin tin. I call it a cupcake tin because it's basically standard cupcake cases. Your big tin for your big muffins. Let me just find them. There they are. So for your big muffins, you need these. Now, to be fair, I used to sell these via Wilton, but I'm struggling to get hold of them at the moment. So, but they're for your big muffins, with your big tulip wraps in.
So if you were using an ice cream scoop, would you use a medium size as an equivalent to your tablespoons?
Yes. Lots of people like using an ice cream scoop. I hate using an ice cream scoop because you put the first one in, second one in, and then you end up having to scrape out round, because even though that scoops it, it doesn't scoop it out clean, and then it's always hanging underneath the spoon. So I've just always liked to use 2 spoons. But again, personal choice, isn't it? So let's go and put these in the oven. Okay, so I've just made sure, can you see there, John? So I've just made sure all my cases are nice. I'm actually baking them in the oven on 160. My oven is a bit older now, but normally I usually bake long and slow on 140, but my oven's a bit older, so I'm on 160, and also a little bit higher will make them rise a little bit more as well. But if you want them really flat, bake them a bit lower. Yeah, so let's put these in the oven now.
How long are they in the oven for?
20 minutes. So it's 8:45. So let's get the next batch on. So did anybody come back with the answer for the oil?
Didn't know there was a question.
Yes, I did. I asked how much oil would they use, just to see if I'd got the right one. Because I worked out my oil.
No, I don't see an answer to that.
Yep.
I didn't actually know.
So if
that.
any of you got the,
Have
answers to the oil, so I'm using an 8-ounce mix. How much oil would you swap for the butter? So what we're going to do now is just need to check again. Flavoured icing sugar and oil. So we're going to use 8 ounces of the flavoured icing sugar. So for those of you who like to work in grams and in cups, all you need to do is go to Google and put 8 ounces to cups to grams, and it'll tell you. Just another tip as well. Your ingredients need to be exact. So when you're using your flour, your margarine and your sugar, they need to be exact.
So it's 6 ounces of oil.
Yeah, that's what they are. That's what I said. 3/4. Right, so we're going to put the sugar in now this time. So we're going to put the sugar in. So we've got no margarine to put in because we're going to use oil.
Yeah, we've got it through. Thank you everybody for the answers there.
No, we're good.
And yes, I think Karen, she had answered that before.
Yeah, good. I'm glad about that because that's exactly what I thought as well. And I've got to be honest, I made them tonight. What time did I get in?
So 6 ounces. Yeah, 6 ounces is the equivalent to 170 ml oil.
That's right. Perfect. That's exactly what I've got on my phone because I had to Google. I came running in at 6:30 tonight. That's the first thing I had to Google, and then I put the oil in. And watch this. When I put the oil in, I thought, oh my goodness, I've done this wrong. I've really done it wrong, and it looked. Just going to take out a little bit of oil because I've lost a bit too much. And I thought, oh Carol, you've done this wrong now. You've ruined it. But it actually all pulled nicely together, and I was quite chuffed really because I've used packet mixes in the past and it actually was like a packet mix. So it's basically 3/4 of whatever your mix is, isn't it? That makes sense. So we're going to put that in there. So we've got the oil in there. So let's just get this on. So I just need to make sure we don't put off. Sorry, that we don't puff up a big cloud. So we're just going to make 2 batches, one with oil, one without oil. I think they both come out perfectly fine. I showed you them earlier. So we'll get this one, we'll make a chocolate batch. Now the chocolate batch that I've made already is just with margarine. So the chocolate batch that I make next, I'll make with the oil. So I didn't get time to make another one. So you can see on the bowl here, John, are you on this bowl? I can just go and get a...
How long do they bake for? They're in the oven for 20 minutes at 160 degrees.
And did we put them in? What time did I put them in? 10 past. No, 10 to 9. No. Yeah, 10 to 9. I'm going to crack our 4 eggs.
Quarter to 9 they went in. Thank you, June.
Yeah, good. I was just checking they were paying attention. So we've got our oil in
Just as
here.
well someone was.
Eh?
Just as well someone was.
Yeah, I know. Just checking.
Any particular brand of vegetable oil?
This one's Tesco. So that's our oil and our flavoured icing sugar. So I'm just going to drop it down again, turn it on, and then we're going to drop our eggs in. Should have been one at a time, but again, 2 slippy little fellas slipped in first. So what do you want to learn next week then? So Monday we have got Emily Coyle in the kitchen. Now she's going to come over and show you her cake cream. So I don't know what she's actually going to make, but she's actually going to bring her autumn cake with her, provided it survives the flight. So she's going to bring that with her, and that's a class that she's doing with us on the 1st of March. She'll leave the cake here. I think I've got 2 or 3 spaces available, so get on that class, it's a long day. We've also got Amy Archibald here at the beginning of March, beginning of February, 1st of February, isn't it?
1st of February, Amy's here for a wedding cake class.
And I think there's 2 places left available for that. That's a fantastic class as well. Both those classes are amazing. Different techniques all together, but well worth the investment, especially if you really want to make, you know, wedding cakes, really want to make them. Definitely worth the investment. So I'm just going to put the other 2 eggs in. And then I'm just going to go and get a fresh bowl for my flour, which we'll weigh out. I've got cupcake bouquet classes. Now there's one in January, one in February, one in March.
The 29th of January, the 19th of February and the 11th of March.
Now the cupcake bouquet classes are fantastic. Now it's not the ones in the box, it's the ones where you make the big bouquet with all the big tissue paper around and everything. Anybody who's been on that class, if you're watching tonight, let everybody know. In fact, if you've been to a class in this kitchen, let everybody know how fabulous the classes are here. We've never had a bad class. In fact, we've never had a bad student, which is great. I feel so lucky. All our students have been amazing, great sense of humour, good personality. They've come in, they've learned a lot. While you're here, we do feed you. John and I, we're quite good. We feed you, private parking, and it really is a nice 1-day or 2-day course with either our tutors or with myself. When you get taught by me, it's very like this in the kitchen, very down to earth, very relaxed, very chilled. Let's just go with it. And I'm doing the cupcake bouquet classes, and we're going to make a 19 cup bouquet. Or a 24 one, whatever the ladies want to make on the day. Normally we make a 3, a 7 and a 12, and the ladies go home with 2 cupcakes so that they can share them. But I think now in classes we'll just make the really big one, make them really impressive. And I'll show you lots of skills, lots of piping skills, and I think in the next few classes we'll use a couple of moulds as well. So mix this in now. I just need to go and get another clean bowl for my flour. There we go. So we've got a clean bowl for my flour. So let's weigh the flour out. So I'm just using, this one is Aldi's self-raising flour. And again, as I say, you do not need to add any baking powder whatsoever. Just make sure it's exact, because we're doing an 8-ounce mix. It has to be exactly 8 ounces of flour. Not 8 ounces and 1, 8 ounces. So we're going to lift this up, make sure we scrape everything off. Okay, and then we're over to here, and then we're going to fold in the flour.
You just come a little bit forward.
This way?
There, perfect.
Good. I'm going to move the mixer again.
Yeah.
I knew it would happen tonight. So we're just going to fold it in. Make sure you lift up. So it's not beating, it's lifting up. Can you see? Fold in. And we will stick this on the mixer and just give it 30 seconds. But we just want to lift up.
Lots of people saying that they've come to the classes and had a great time.
That's good, good.
Hopefully, Rose, you had a fun-filled day rather than an unfilled day.
Do you know, everybody who's come to the classes has had a great time, and all the ladies we've met have been fabulous. So you might see I've just popped a little flour, can you see that flour? Ball of flour there, just pop that. So you see any of those, make sure you just pop them out.
Yeah, Liz is asking local hotels. Yes, there are plenty of hotels locally.
Yeah, if I was you, book the Premier Inns. There's 2 Premier Inns here in Stockport. There's Stockport South Premier Inn and Stockport Central. I normally recommend the Armour Lodge, which is brilliant. But on a weekend, they've always got weddings and events on, and sometimes you don't get your night's sleep. And they seem to send you an email, so if you want a quiet room, we'll charge you an extra tenner. I do think that extra tenner is a great investment. What I will say about the Armour Lodge is it's a lovely hotel. It's a family-run hotel, and they do really nice breakfasts and evening meals in there. Whereas I think the Premier Inns are attached to the local beef eaters, aren't they? Unless they've got their own restaurant in. Right, so that's all incorporated. Can you see it? I'm not going to put this in the mixer. I actually think it's fine. So I think by the time I've got these in the cupcakes, yeah. So I'm just making sure that there's no flour balls. So there you go. One made with the oil, one made with margarine. So
Jane's asking if anybody licks the bowl when it's made with oil.
Actually, it tastes nice. I tasted it before. It don't taste, seriously.
Not for me, thank you.
John won't lick the bowl anyhow, but it tasted nice. Seriously, there was no difference. So let me just get my spoons out. Spoons. 1 second. So what time is it now? Oh, I've been in 15 minutes. How many of you do lick the bowl? I tell you, my granddaughter, Jasmine, all my grandchildren have loved licking it. Even my own children, they loved it. I don't know whether they do it so much now they're older. But all my children have done it. And my grandchildren have done it as well. They love it. But my Jasmine, who is our 3-year-old, she is so funny. We bake with her, and I think some of you have seen some pictures, and John has to chase him around being the monster. So when they say, "Grandad, chase me, be the monster." But all Jasmine can think about, she's interested in the baking, but her real interest is, when is she going to lick the bowl? That's all you get out of her, isn't it, John?
Yeah.
And she's a bit buttercream crazy as well.
Just a question, are you adding any milk or water to this batch?
No. Sorry, I should have said no, I'm not. It's quite liquidy, which is great.
And we've had a request for cheesecake or tarts to be made next week.
Yeah, I'll make some cheesecakes, if you like. I'll make 2 cheesecakes. I'll make a chocolate one for you and a white one. So Thursdays is going to be our baking sessions. Okay, so what we'll do is every week we'll ask you what you want to make. I've got a whole list of things that I want to add, so if you can't think of something, but you know, cheesecakes was on the list. Shortbread biscuits, we'll make those. We'll make Viennese swirls one week. Roulade, meringue kisses, we'll make those. There's loads of things to make, isn't there? And bear in mind, I am not a baker, so a lot of you will see it is that, you know what, I'm just like you guys in the kitchen giving it a go. So I never get a chance to bake normally unless we're live. It's generally the only time I do get to bake, or when I do baking classes. I've not booked any of the baking classes on this year, basically because I just haven't got time. And but the baking classes, the people who've been on the baking classes, is anybody watching who's been on the baking classes? Everybody's exhausted when they do them, because we do a lot in one day on those. So make sure you fill your cupcake cases over half full. Don't be stingy and filling them less than half. They need to be half full. So it's like 1.5 spoonfuls. I'm not going to put so much in these ones because these are a bit smaller. So we'll just add a little bit less in them.
Other request, almond slices,
Yeah.
carrot cake with cream cheese buttercream,
Yeah.
shortbread, millionaire shortbread,
Yeah.
chocolate fudge cake.
Good.
We've had a request for Richard Crompton to come and do a bread demo.
Yes. And Rob Allen. Right, so I'm not going to do all the cupcakes. We'll just do these and get these in. See this here, if you spill any around here, for those who like licking the bowl, these are called chef finger treats. John's appalled.
That's why you're not on camera.
Did you not show them, John?
No.
Oh, he's awful, isn't he? Right, let's go and put these in the oven. Right, they're 4 minutes past 9. The others are doing nicely. Right, okay, so we've got chocolate cupcakes to make now, so let's get those made. Now I do need to have a little bit of a clear up because we're getting a little bit giddy here. So let me just get these out of the way. Now the ones I made before was with the butter, but what I'm going to do is make the next ones with oil. You can add chocolate drops to these as well, and we'll add chocolate drops to these. I didn't add them to the other ones, I just used the cocoa powder. So let me get this lot out of the way, let me get some clean bowls, and we'll get on to the next batch. John, do you want to answer any questions or anything?
Yeah, we're going to request for Rob to come as well to do another demo.
We love having Rob in the kitchen, actually, and I must get in touch with him if he's watching tonight.
I haven't seen him pop up, to be honest.
No, but he normally watches the Monday ones. Right, so let's get the mixer back on.
Just while Carol's doing that, if anybody likes and shares this Facebook Live, they enter into a prize draw to win a £25 Sugar and Crumbs voucher, and the winner will be drawn next Thursday. So we do this on each of the lives. We do it on a Monday, and then the winner's drawn the following Monday, and on the Thursday the winner is drawn the following Thursday.
That's right.
So again, if you share this live to enter the draw.
Now, making the chocolate cakes, we're not going to use flavoured icing sugars, okay? What we're going to use is we're going to use a product called our flavoured cocoa powders. So we will be using caster sugar in this mix. So I'll just get my scales again. And I'll show you, I'll talk to you about the cocoa powders in a minute. So, caster sugar, margarine. So let's get the scales on. Do an 8 ounce mix again. Oh, open a new packet. Let's do this one. So 8 ounces again. Don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on those cakes. I just checked them before. So 8 ounces of, oh, I'm doing oil, aren't I? Da, 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 da. Ding dong, ding dong. Hang on a minute. Reverse, reverse, reverse. Margarine back in there. I did margarine before. We're on oil. So, sugar. Did any of you remember that we were doing oil ones? So 8 ounces of sugar. And that's too much sugar. I've got 9 ounces in there. So let's take some out. So I'm looking forward to doing Crafters Companion. It'd be a nice way to get to meet you all. Because John and I see so many of you at the shows, we don't get a chance to chat to you all. And I think it'd be lovely to do that demo. And if we can get 2 demos going, that would be absolutely great. So sugar in the bowl.
Yeah, Sarah had noticed that it was supposed to be oil. Yeah, in fact, Wendy the same.
When did you notice? When I told you? When I did reverse, reverse. 6 ounces of oil. So I'm just clearing my scales there. Just using regular vegetable oil. Some of you might prefer to use other oils. As I say, I've never used oil in cupcakes unless it's been a mix. Never actually made them with them. So bang on 6 ounces there. So we're going to pour that in. Get this on in here. Let's get that down. Let's turn that on. So clean bowl. So what we're going to do is now is our flour. Now we're using 8 ounces of flour, so it's the same as the oil this. What we're going to do now, instead of 8 ounces of self-raising flour, we're going to take 2 ounces away. So we're going to use 6 ounces of self-raising flour. And that's a bit like the margarine, 8 ounces of margarine, but when we're going to use oil, we take 2 ounces away and use 6 ounces. So we want 6 ounces. And then we're going to use our product called cocoa powder. Now, we do 5 flavours, but we're about to discontinue one which is coconut. The 5 flavours that we do is chili, cherry, orange and lime. They're all amazing. You can make buttercream. On the back of the packet, it tells you how to make buttercream and easy brownies. Now, I know Danielle showed you her way of making chocolate brownies on Monday, but on here is my way. It's a very, very easy recipe. I'm all about making it as easy as possible. So if you're in the mood for chocolate brownies, you can knock these up in no time at all. So we're going to make chocolate lime cupcakes. John has already tasted one already. Don't know whether you heard him eating. Anybody who's regular in the kitchen knows that John is usually prowling up and down on the hunt for food. He's a big strapping Irish lad and there's nothing fills him up. So cupcakes it was tonight. So we've got 8 ounces of self-raising flour. We're going to 6 ounces of self-raising flour, sorry, and we're going to top it up to 8 ounces with the cocoa powder. So that's 2 ounces of cocoa powder. And then once I've weighed that, I'm just going to check my cupcakes. So don't forget to like and share. Lots of people have won a £25 voucher. It's been a great start to the new year. Everybody has liked that idea. So it means that you can do some free shopping in our shop. So, and then I'm going to crack some eggs. Where's my eggs? So we need 4 eggs. 1, 2, don't know what I'm going to do with all these cakes. So I'll have to find homes for all these. Cool. So, got any local friends? Right, let's just turn that up a little bit. Let's turn that up. We're going to add 2 eggs in now. So 1. 2. Let them incorporate. So I'm just going to check on my cupcakes and John can read out anything else. 1 second.
In terms of quantities, it was 6 ounces of the self-raising flour and 2 ounces of the flavoured cocoa powders.
Right. Okay, so these are the cupcakes that we've made. As you see, as I said to you before, I actually don't weigh or I don't weigh my mixture. I just do over half. And some of them have got a little bit more in. They're all little bits of different shapes and sizes. Some of you are a bit OCD and want to know exactly the same amount. That's entirely up to you. Some of you put the cupcake case on the scales and you weigh them and then stick them in the pan. I find that a bit difficult because they move about in the cupcake case. So, and some of you will use an ice cream scoop. Some of you might use a piping bag and pour the mixture into a piping bag and then squeeze into the cupcake. Nothing's wrong, it's entirely up to you. So what I'm going to do now with these, can you see these on the camera there, John? Is that too near?
A bit too near.
Yeah? What about this camera?
Yep.
So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to leave them in the pan and I'm just going to put them on one of the cooling trays. I'm not taking them out the pan at all, okay? And I'm not slamming them on the table either. Also, the other thing as well is, don't put them on anything cold. Now, the reason why you should do any of those things, these things have all got steam in the cakes. So if you slam them, the steam comes out and that forces the wrapper to open. If you cover them with a tea towel, that keeps the steam in and it will force the cupcake case to open. If you put them straight onto something cold, exactly the same. So what we want to do is we want the air ventilation going round, yeah? So we'll have a look at these afterwards.
Yes, the cupcakes were made with stork.
So the second batch that's in the oven. So that's the first batch made with stork. The second batch is in the oven, that's made with oil. And now we're doing the chocolate cupcakes. So I'm going to add the other 2 eggs, one at a time. Are you enjoying this live?
Yeah, we've still got a good audience. We've still got 283 people watching.
Yeah, very good. We do lose audiences because people will come in and they start watching all at first, and then as time goes on, once they've seen it once, they don't need to see them all or see everything. We're going to make some buttercream in a moment, so I'm just going to clean up this. So while that's mixing, I've got butter in the machine here. I'm not sure if you can see this machine or not, but basically I've already whipped the butter already. So just 1 second. So I'm just going to scrape down for a minute. Now all I'm doing in here is a small batch of buttercream. Now this is the buttercream that I would use for the Russian piping tips as well. So I'm only going to do a small batch. So it's 250 grams of butter and 500 grams of icing sugar. Normally when I'm doing lots of cupcakes, I use a minimum of 500 grams of butter and a kilo of icing sugar, but we don't need that much, okay? And then I'm going to show you how to do a rose swirl, 2-tone, and then we're going to do some butterfly cakes. So let's do this, get this on. And because my cupcakes that are cooled already are banana, I'm actually going to use the banana flavoured icing sugar. Now you can dilute this, okay? So some of you like to make it go a long way. I do watch 1 or 2 of you and you say you use plain icing sugar and maybe 2 tablespoons of that. I don't think that's strong enough personally.
Just going back to the recipe, can you just run through what is currently in the chocolate cupcake recipe?
I will. Just So I'm going to turn that on. So this mix here that we're doing is the one with oil, okay? So in here we have got, now we're making chocolate cupcakes this time, so we're not using flavoured icing sugar. So we've used 8 ounces of caster sugar, 6 ounces of oil, okay? So if you think of a whole and divide it into 4, we only want 3/4. So 8, 3/4 of that is 6. Does that make sense? So we only want 3/4. So that we put in 6 ounces of oil. And then I've used 8 ounces of flour, which I would normally use for white cupcakes, but because we're using cocoa powder, the 8 ounces of flour I've now reduced to 6 ounces, but I've topped it back up with our flavoured cocoa powder, okay? Now do watch it when you buy this, because we do have some chocolate flavoured icing sugars in a very similar bag. When the two bags are together, you can see that they're completely different. But this does say flavoured cocoa powder on it. On the back, there's a recipe to make chocolate brownies. There's a recipe to make buttercream. You do not throw the whole bag of this into your butter to make buttercream. Read the recipe. 35 to 40 grams, that's all you need. Okay, so we've got it in the bowl here. John, can you see this in the bowl? You see that in the bowl there, John? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to turn the mixer off now because it's been going long enough. And this is the oil recipe. So I'm just going to scrape off all the oil off there. So we've got the oil cupcakes in the oven. We've got the ones that were made with margarine just come out the oven. Can you see on the camera here, John? Mm-hmm. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop all this in. This is the cocoa powder and the self-raising flour. Do not add baking powder. You do not add baking powder to self-raising flour. It's already in the flour. Don't add any more, yeah? Now, some of you may disagree with me. That's entirely up to you. But my thing is, don't add it. It's already in. Baking powder is to be added to plain flour. So we're just folding this in. So I don't know whether you can see, I'm just folding it in.
Yep, we can see.
And this is a delicious lime flavour. What I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to throw in a few chocolate chips as well. And if you see any bubbles of flour, just make sure you break them. Okay, so we're just going to scrape round the bowl. And you will see them sort of come up. Now we don't add water to the oil ones. We don't need to add any water. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this a mix on the mixer for 30 seconds, no more than 30 seconds. Put that down, put this on, and then we'll fill up some cupcake cases. So let's get all this out of the way. So we'll fill up some cupcake cases. Right, okay, be truthful. When you get your cupcake cases, who licks your finger and sticks them in there? Don't. Little damp cloth, pull them off that way. I've seen it so many times. People go, ugh, and then they do that with their cases. With foil cases, okay, just you can feel by the weight of them, so they all feel nice and thin, so there's no doubles. So again, sometimes you might just have to peel them like this. So I can feel that this one feels heavier. If you're not sure if it feels heavier, just pick up a single one and feel another one. You will feel it, believe me. I love foil cases. Absolutely love them. This one's a triple one, I think, actually. Yes, it is. Yeah. Right. Rough. Okay, let me get 2 spoons. Start doing those again. 2 spoons. Any questions we need to answer, John?
No, not at the moment.
just lift this up. So you see this nice liquid batch. Now this you could pour into a piping bag if you wanted to. Yeah, there's nothing stopping you doing that. Pour it into a piping bag and then squeeze it into your cupcake bag, into your cupcake cases. We do have, if you go on to Wilton on our website, we do have the nozzle that you pop on your bag. It doesn't come with any bags, but it comes with a little nozzle. It's called a pouring thing or something. I can't remember what it's called. Let me just get this off. I'll put it in the wish list afterwards. I didn't think about it until just now, actually. Let me get this out of the way. That mix is all done. Clean. And then we'll just fill these up. Oh, chocolate chips. Let's put some of those in. Let's go and get some.
Yep, Wendy, the foil cupcake cases. We have various foil cupcake cases available on our website.
Got loads of cupcake cases. Just go to the shop bit and go to cake decoration part, I think. You find all the cupcake cases. So on our website, sugarandcrumbs.co.uk. Okay, don't forget we've got the sale on. Now I added more stuff last night. I added chocolate drip to the sale. Faye Cahill's in there, FMM cutters, patchwork cutters, Karen Davies is all in there, okay? Sugar is in there as well. So let me just put these in. So we're going to fill these 2/3 full. And then we'll make up our buttercream and we'll make some fairy cakes. Not fairy cakes, butterfly cakes. The old-fashioned ones. They've gone out of fashion now, nobody makes them anymore, do they? But let me tell you now, make them with the grandkids, they'll love them. Or even your own children, youngsters. You know, when you're baking with the children, it's called baking memories. What's the things that we all look back on our childhood? You know, all the things that, all the expensive things don't actually mean anything. It's all the things, that picnic in the park. I was talking to my son the other day, and I always remember as a little girl, my grandma used to, because I'm one of 4, my grandma used to take us out in the garden, and she got one of these plastic divider tray things, and in there she would chop up bananas, oranges, apples. She'd put some like crisp in, some little biscuit things in, and then she put a big blanket on the grass, and we'd all sit round and she'd say, right, we're having a party. And you know, I remember that. I'm 58 and I still remember, and I loved it. It's one of the things I really love about her, you know. And you know, those are things that cost nothing. And I actually have some of those containers, and I gave them to Wesley yesterday. Only yesterday I was telling him, and he goes, oh, give me some. And I'll do them with the kids in the garden, because it's things like that they remember. My own children just remember caravan holidays, going down to the caravan. You know, they didn't have no money or anything. We had to go down to the caravan, do all our own shopping. There was no restaurants involved. Couldn't afford it. You know, they all had to get outside and play, run around, hide and seek, climbing in the caravan windows when they shouldn't be, scaring the sisters. It's called making memories, isn't it? You know, they remember baking with me every Saturday morning. They all remember baking with me every Saturday morning. Following me Delia Smith cookery book. So we're just going to fill these 2/3 full. So I've got loads of batches left, because I don't want to fill all of them. I'll finish baking them all tonight. So before I go, I'll get all the rest of this lot in the oven. But we'll just get these in for now. You know, children are very easy to please. You know what they want? They just want time. And you know, today we don't really give them that, do we? We give them an iPad. And we're impressed that they can use it. But when they grow up, what memories will they have when they grow up? I was given an iPad to play with. What memories did we build with them? And baking is a great one to build with them. So let me just get rid of that and just clean. Right, so with the oil, you can see I've slopped it around a little bit on the pan. A little bit more sloppy there. So I'll just go and get them in the oven. We'll see how the others are doing. Comments, John?
Few people telling their memories what they were.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Isn't it nice?
Scraping wallpaper.
Yeah, scraping wallpaper. Wasn't that fun? Especially when you had to do the wood chip. Who remembers wood chip? What a nightmare. I remember when I was a little girl, it was on my wall. I'd be laying in bed at night time picking it all off and my mum would come in and go mad. Who's done that? Not me. Right, let's see how the other ones are doing. Yep, they've done nicely. Oof. Right, so these are the ones with the oil. So they've done nicely, haven't they? Let me get this rack. So the rack here, can you see that, John?
Yeah.
On that camera. So the rack, the legs fold, so you can either make them higher. It's always good to make them higher because it gives you more air to go around them. Okay, so I'm going to sit them on there and let them cool down. I'm just going to leave them in the tin. You'll notice I haven't slapped them down on the worktop. Don't do that, okay, because that's what's going to knock the air out. Right, so I'm going to move those around there. And these are the ones made with oil. I'm not going to start faffing with them in the tin at the moment. I'm going to give them time to cool down. I don't want to start picking them up. When they're in the tin, leave them there. Don't take them out and start throwing them on the worktop. They need that air to go around. Okay? The ones that I did earlier, I told you, I came in at 6:30 tonight. Ooh, nearly lost them then. The ones that came in earlier. So, I came in at 6:30 tonight to start baking. And these have been in the tin all night, so you don't need to take them out of the tin at all. Yeah, look, all stuck to the foils. Can you see this, John?
Mm-hmm.
All stuck to the foils. I've not taken these out of the tin whatsoever. Just leave them in the tin to cool down, okay? No need to take them out. So these are the ones made with oil. These are the ones made with margarine, yeah? The ones with the oil, I think, rise better, or maybe I might put more mixture in, because the mixture is more liquid. I think because it's more liquid, I've actually put more in than I have when it's been more solid like this. Yeah, pretty good. And the chocolate ones that we did before, made with butter, are here. You'll find one is missing because John's eating it. Okay, so they've been in the tin. Look, no peeling. No peeling. Lovely. We're one short. Did it taste nice, John?
It was very nice, yes.
And these are chocolate lime, and we're going to make banana split buttercream, and they'll go perfect with the lime as well. Right, John, any questions?
No, not at the moment. Lots of people with memories of stripping wallpaper.
I was talking to the girls in the hairdressers the other day, and I was saying to them about the memories of a kid. And like in my day, there was no central heating. So, you know, all your windows were frosted up. Who had the frosty windows? And for some reason, as a kid, you used to put all your books on the windowsill. So then you go and have them, and put all your best books there, have a look at them. And then you come back months later, and they're all soaking wet and mouldy, aren't they? All ruined. Fun of being a child many years ago. These kids today don't know what they've got, do they? So just let me wash my hands a moment.
A couple of people asking, can you cut some of them open to see the difference in texture
Yes.
between the margarine and the oil?
Yeah. Do that now. good idea. Right, oil. We got that on that camera, John? So let's peel. There we go. Nice and bouncy. You got it? I'm on this camera.
No, you're not. You're on this one.
Oh. Right, I was working to this camera.
That's fine. Well, you are now.
Oh, so we're going to do this one. Should I cut it again then?
No, it's fine.
Yeah? So, nice. Okay, so this is the oil ones. And they're nice and bouncy, look. And then these are the ones with margarine. And again, look, nice and bouncy. So personal choice, isn't it? What you like. Yeah. Do you want to do the taste test, John?
May as well.
Oil?
No.
No, that one's the oil. And that one's the butter, the margarine.
Sure.
I know what they are, of course I do. Can you believe he's testing me? Which camera are we on here?
That one.
Right, okay. Margarine, oil. They'll all agree, they'll start telling you in a minute. Can you taste the banana through them? Yeah?
Yeah, very nice.
Could. Right, okay.
What are we doing then?
You're going to taste that one, yeah? Yeah.
So which one's this one?
The margarine.
That is softer.
Yeah. I think so as well when I tasted it. Right, okay, let's make some buttercream. So I have to agree with John. I think the margarine ones are softer. So maybe I might have done something wrong with the oil, but I do like the oil ones as well. I think the oil ones raised higher. So we've softened our butter. We're now going to put our flavoured icing sugar in. I'm going to put it in full strength. You can half and half. I started to tell you before, some of you use like a couple of tablespoons and add it to your plain icing sugar. Nothing wrong with that, but I don't really think it gives it the full strength. They must be good. John's going back to eat those cakes. Finish them off. He's not even a cake man. You enjoying them, John?
Yeah, very nice.
So, how are you liking it having John in the kitchen? It's great, isn't it, now having a man in the kitchen? Are you enjoying it, John?
Overjoyed.
Oh, dear.
I'm so glad I'm not watching Sky Sports on the Thursday night now.
Is that what you did on Thursday nights? I have no idea what he does on Thursday nights when we're all in here. What do you do on Monday nights? Watch Sky Sports.
Yeah, do it most nights.
He does actually. I don't get a chance to watch the TV. Last year I was trying to save up for my, I'm a bit of a Coronation Street fan. Just got a little bit of chocolate splash there. A bit of a Coronation Street fan. And, oh, don't do this, what I was just going to do there, that's through talking. Make sure you chop it in. I was just going to turn it on. That would have been fun, wouldn't it? Was you waiting? Make sure you chop your icing sugar in, okay? It's important you do that because if you don't, when you turn that mixer on, you might not see me for a little while. I know we've been covered in it. So we're just going to chop it all in. I'm also, you still eating that cake? Well done. I'm also just going to add a spoonful of water, just to make it nice and soft.
Did you use salted or unsalted butter?
I use margarine. Oh, for the buttercream.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I use unsalted. It's entirely up to you which one that you actually use. Some people prefer to use salted, some people prefer to use unsalted. If you use salted, it takes the sweetness away. Because you've got to remember, it is icing sugar. Now, we do have a new product, a new flavour called cream cheese. Who likes it, by the way? Have I still got it here? I actually have still got it here. So we have a new flavour called cream cheese. Now, all our flavours are natural flavours. This cream cheese is not real cream cheese. It's icing sugar and it's flavoured. I would suggest you use salted butter with this, or slightly salted, because it's meant to be it's not meant to be so sweet, and it's ideal for your carrot cake and your red velvet cakes. We've had excellent feedback. If any of you have used it, let everybody know what you think. But we've had great feedback. We've been working on a cream cheese flavour for a long time. One of the biggest issues we had was the smell. I've even bought liquid cream cheese just to see it, and oh my god, I opened the bottle and nearly died. And there was a lady here in the classroom just this week, and I just said to her, do you want this bottle of cream cheese? And she went, yeah, all right then. In fact, I knew it was Danielle on Monday. She said, go on, I'll use it. And her husband went, oh. But it does stink. What does it smell like, John? What was it like when we were making it?
Not very nice.
No. So I know when Laura and I was practicing with it last year, and we've been working on it for a few years, and Laura hadn't smelt it. So last summer she come in the kitchen and said, right, let's try another go at this cream cheese, because we've been trying loads of different variations, and we were just dying. And then John came into the kitchen here, he was like, Lordy, what on earth are you doing? So I've added a little bit of butter, a little bit of water to this. Really good mix. Sorry about the noise. I'm right next to the microphone as well. Right, okay. Let's give it a mix. Now I like to beat it for a long time, so I like to beat the butter for a long time until it's white and fluffy. Then add the icing sugar, okay? And then beat the icing sugar for 30 seconds. I've actually just done a bit longer there. If you beat it longer than 30 seconds, sometimes it can make it grainy. What I will say to you is, you'll never know when it's on a cake. When people come back and say it's grainy, what I will say to you is top up a little bit of hot water. So if you add hot water, that will help get rid of the grains away. But the other thing is, keep your finger out the bowl. Just put it on the cake, nobody will know. So there we go, there's our buttercream. So let's get our cupcakes. I'm going to show you how to do a rose swirl tonight. Let me clean my table here. So we've got 20 minutes. I'm going to do a rose swirl. Let's get my cupcakes. Let's move them there at the moment. Now, John, you can finish those cakes off if you wish.
No thanks.
No? You don't really eat cake, do you? So some buttercream that I had earlier. So this is a white colour, and I just need to make this into a green. And I've got a lemon flavour there, a lemon colour. Now these were the buttercreams that I made last week, okay? So I made these last week. So buttercream, can you put it back in the fridge? Yes, okay? Make sure you cling film it, and cling film it well, all right? If you don't cling film it and you just put it in the fridge, it will crust over and it'd be no good to you. So make sure you cling film it. Then when you get it out of the fridge, leave it to go to room temperature. Leave it to go to room temperature, and then
Karen's just asked a question, does that mixer have a light in the top? Yes, it does.
Yeah,
yep.
It does. I'm just going to put these in the microwave for a few seconds, just because they've gone firm again. Hold on.
Just a couple of reminders while Carol's off over there. Our sale is currently on. There's over 600 lines in the sale with up to 50% off, so have a look and have a browse there. Also in the sale, our icing sugars are now only £2 a bag. So all the icing sugars that are being used tonight, they are only £2 a bag. So again, don't miss out on that offer at the moment. A quick recap on the classes that are coming up. Carol's running a cupcake bouquet class on the 29th of January, the 19th of February and the 11th of March, and they're based here in Stockport, South Manchester. We have Amy Archibald in doing a wedding cake class, which is a 2-day course on the 1st of February. We have Michael Lewis Anderson doing a royal icing class on the 22nd of February. And we have Emily Coyle here on the 1st of March. And that's, I think that's a 1-day class, but it's quite a long day.
Yeah, it's a 12-hour day.
And then one we hadn't mentioned before, we've got Georgie Godball back in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen, and she's doing 3 days in a row.
Yes.
3 different classes, the 27th, the 28th, and the 29th of March.
Quite a lot of you booked on all 3 days, which is fantastic. So, just going to give you some work to do, John. I'm going to use the pistachio green tonight. These are on offer, £1.45. Just the pistachio green and pink. We've got an offer. I over-ordered. Right, John, any chance you can mix that for me, please? There you go.
Thank you.
I'll get another palette knife. How many cakes are you in? Right. And then anybody remember what time I put the chocolate cakes in? Right, piping bags. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a rose swirl. I'm using these big pink bags, okay, mainly because I run out of the clear bags, and I usually use the Queen of Hearts or the Simply Making ones. I forgot to ask John to bring some home tonight. So I've had to use these really big ones. These big ones are perfect for meringues, or if you're doing, you know, the same type of decorating with buttercream, and you can tie the bag at the top and just keep doing your swirls. But I've had to cut these down, so I've had to cut this much off. So don't buy big bags when you want small bags. Buy small bags, it's well worth it. So what we're going to do is we are going to two-tone our bag, and we'll do some rose swirls first, and then we'll do some butterfly cakes. So I've got this lovely bright yellow colour. Can you see that, John?
Yes.
So I've just put it in the microwave. Now it is a bit soft. I've probably put it in for a little bit too long, but because I'm going to put this white in, it won't really matter. So you'll see that I am putting the yellow in. Now I wouldn't be able to pipe with this on its own. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. Now I wouldn't be able to pipe with this on its own because it's just a little bit too soft. I'd have to let it firm up again in the fridge. But the white that I've used is still firm. So by the time we put this in, it'll balance it out and make it even. So we'll just put that in. So you put the white in the middle. And see how lovely and white my buttercream is? Can you see it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's all because I whip the living daylights out of the butter first. Don't whip the living daylights out of butter and icing sugar. Just the butter first. Whip all the yellow out. And when I'm using butter, I only use value butter. I don't be using your expensive stuff. You don't need to. Okay? And you don't need to simply because the flavoured icing sugars are going to do all the hard work. Now, for you guys who are in America, John will shout out again where you can buy our product in America. We do want more stores in America. We do want more stores in America. Now, we can't contact all the stores there because we don't. Your large store, cake store, and you want them to stock our products. Why don't you email into them and say, have you thought about stocking Sugar and Crumbs? And then let them come to us. It'd be great. That's all we can ask you to do. Right, okay, so rose swirl. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on the top of the cupcake. Can you see under this camera, John? So we're just going to start in the middle. I'm going to go round, round, and down. Yeah? So I'll do a few of these for you. So this is a bigger one. So you can see, look, how these are all stuck, baked well. So round, down the middle, round, round. Keep it nice and tight and down. Do another one. Round. 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 We'll just pop those back in there. John has made me some green. So I'll just pop some green in the piping bag. So it looks like quite a lot of you are going to come and see us on our road trip in February. Quite excited about meeting you all. I'll get John to shout out the dates again. And if the dates get full, email Crafters Companion, tell them that you've missed getting in, and let's see if we can get a second class on. They are open to a second class. It's not that we're forcing them around, they're open to it, but we want to fill one class at a time.
Yeah, so the dates, we're going up to do a Facebook Live with them on the 6th of February, which is a Thursday. And then the following day, we will be doing a cupcake bouquet demo at the Newton A Cliff store. So that's the 7th of February at 10 AM. The next day, the 8th of February, we will be in Chesterfield. And the following Saturday, which is Saturday the 15th of February, we will be in Evesham. So hopefully with us moving around the country, it gives you guys who are not that close to us here in Stockport an opportunity to come along and say hello.
Yeah, be great. Right, okay, so that's those. And then let's just do some butterfly cakes. Let's just do these. We're not going to decorate them all. What time did my cupcakes go in the oven? Can anyone remember?
No idea.
You don't remember, John?
No, I don't think you said.
Did I not say? Did anybody pay attention? I was just going to have a look. Now, some people say that when you can hear the noise stop, the little whistling noise stop, that they're ready. I can't work like that because I'm actually hard of hearing, believe it or not. I can only hear low tones, and I suffer very badly with tinnitus in both ears. So as much as you see me here every week, I've got constant screaming in this ear and a mild scream in this one. And this one is just all day. It sleeps with me, everything. It's just constantly screaming. So I couldn't listen to any little noise. But I know some of you swear blind that you pop your ear in the oven, pop to the cake. Try not to burn your ear. And if you hear the whistling sound stop, they're ready. But I can't tell you that, okay? Because I can't use that method. So I just have to go by times.
What nozzle are you using?
I use the 1M Wilton. Right, these are ready. And there you go. They're ready. And that's the oil ones. Yeah. Now, these are a little bit more, you'll see that they might look a little bit wet, but they're not. It's just where the chocolate drops. I put chocolate drops in these, and they smell delicious. Personally, because I put chocolate drops in, I probably wouldn't put anything else on these at all. So we're going to let these cool, and then before we finish, I'll cut them open. Yeah? These are the ones I did earlier, John. These are the ones that I did earlier, and these are with the margarine. So we'll cut them open afterwards. They're without chocolate drops. Right, okay. So, I've got my knife here. Little knife. Two spoons. Jam. Let's get these cut open. So all we're going to do, round, you can all remember this. You must all remember these, don't you? Hey, who did butterfly cakes? Right, and you have to remember to keep the right one. I remember my grandma saying, just remember, keep the right one. The right top to the right cupcake. So, can you see these okay, John?
We can, yeah.
Yeah. So just going to dig in. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's live, making basic cupcakes. Give them all a go. Look, you can see how lovely they are. And then we're going to put a little bit of jam in. Got to have a bit of jam in, haven't you? A bit of jam in. Some of you can go mad and have lots of jam in. Bit of jam. There we go. And then we need some buttercream. So I need another spoon. These are great for anybody who can't pipe. So just going to put the buttercream in on top like that. Just a nice blob. Just a nice blob. You don't have to pipe it in for butterfly cakes. Just push it in. Do you all remember doing these? Did they remember, John, before when we said? Mm-hmm. They remember the butterfly cakes? You need to bring these back in fashion, retro. These are the things that I'm telling you now. Do them with your grandchildren now or your own children. Believe me, you'll have to wait 20 years, but they'll come back and go, Grandma, can we make butterfly cakes? Nana. So here we go. Right. Remember what I said? Keep them there in half. We're just going to pop them on. Put it in half. Make sure you've got the right top for the right cake.
So the demos with Crafters Companion are going well. I've just checked, and we've got 12 people booked on the Newton Aycliffe demo. Yeah. We've got 8 booked on for the Chesterfield demo, and we've got 7 booked on for Evesham. So that's not bad, given the fact that they've only been live for a few hours.
Yeah, brilliant, isn't it? Because when did you set it live? Just this afternoon, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was this afternoon.
Yeah. Right, okay, so let me just get that out of the way. Let's put these in here. What do we think? Fairy cakes. Let's go and get the chocolate cakes, and I think we're all done. We're done. Turn that off. Are these cool enough? Ooh, they're not quite cool enough yet.
And just a little bit of information about Crafters Companion, who we're working with. That if people don't know, the Facebook Live that we're doing on the Thursday the 6th of February, that will be Carol and Sarah Davies, who was the founder of Crafters Companion. They'll be doing their Facebook Live together on February the 6th. And for those of you who don't know who Sarah is, she is the newest dragon on Dragon's Den.
And she's a great lady. I really like her. Do you know what she is? She's a younger version of me. So she's probably a bit cleverer than me, but she's a fabulous lady, very down to earth, very friendly, very warm. If you're into your crafting and you like making gift cards and stuff like that, you want to go and join Crafters Companion. They do some great lives. They don't do any cake decorating. We're the first people to go with them and do some decorating, and it was really funny. They got in touch with us May last year, and then we've been up to see them a couple of times and had a chat with them, and we were going to do this before Christmas, and then things all got changed and we had to move it. So we're really looking forward to going up with them in February. It's a new thing for them, for the cake decorating side. We are going live in their studio on the 6th of February. They've got a fantastic studio up there. I think they've got 3 studios. There was 2 when we was there, and they were building one, weren't they? Yeah. So they've got 3 studios. We'll be in one of those. And as John said, we're actually doing that demo with Sarah herself. And I'm sure you're going to love her. If you don't know her already, go and Google her, have a look at her, go and do some catch up of Dragon's Den and see her on there, because she is fabulous.
It'll be hot in the kitchen that day, 2 dragons.
Funny. Okay, and then we're going to that's at their main head office store, and then the following morning we're actually in their shop, in their kitchen, their demonstration kitchen. That's where we'll be doing our morning demo at 10 AM. If we can fill that, we'll then do an afternoon demo, and then after that John and I are in the car. Now I'm not quite sure whether we're going to come home or whether we're going to go straight to Chesterfield and stay the night there. We're going to go home, are we?
It's not far to Chesterfield from here.
I know, but it means what time are we on in Chesterfield?
10 o'clock.
Oh, well, it's an early start, isn't it? We might be staying in Chesterfield if I have my way. So then we're over to Chesterfield, and then same again, if it gets full, we'll do 2 sessions, or otherwise run our way home, get the Sunday off. But the following Saturday, we're down in Worcester, which will be great to meet some of you people down that way.
We're in Evesham.
Evesham, near Worcester. How far away from Birmingham is that?
Don't know, it looks like probably half an hour south of Birmingham.
So people Birmingham way, and I would probably think that people Northwich, and it's not going to be too far from, not Northwich, what's it begins? Norwich, is it? It's over that side, isn't it?
No.
No? Oh, well, wherever it is.
Miles away.
Oh, is it? All right, don't worry. Have a look at the map.
Geography lesson coming up after this this live.
Yeah, okay then. So, chocolate cupcakes. So what we've done here, these are the chocolate cupcakes. Now, these were made with oil, and I've put chocolate drops in these. These were made without oil, okay, and there's no chocolate drops. So let's get one out. Again, they're all firm. I've cooled them exactly the same way in the pan. Okay, they've not come out of the pan. They've just gone on a baking rack. These are still hot. So this is cooled down, but it is still hot. It's cool enough for me to pick up now, but it's still warm. So let's chop these in half. So this is the one made with oil and chocolate drops. And these are our chocolate lime. Yeah, aren't they lovely? Are you on this camera, John? I'm fiddling around with. Or have you missed it all?
No.
What were they watching?
I'm not sure.
Which camera was you on?
Possibly this one.
Love having John in the kitchen. So, I'll start again. So this is the chocolate cake made with oil and chocolate drops. You'll see this is on it because I've got chocolate drops in it. Okay, it's just where it's melted. It's open nicely. It was a firm. There you go. Look, nice and soft. We'll cut it open, and look, see the chocolate chips in there. Yeah. And then this one that was without chocolate chips. These are the ones I made earlier. And these, again, look, nice and soft. Cut them in half. These are without chocolate chips. And they're nice and soft as well. So, entirely up to you. Shall I have a bite? Do you want to have a bite? You don't want to have a bite?
No, thanks, no.
Are you fed up with cake now?
Yeah.
And boom, cool.
Evesham's about 45 minutes from Birmingham.
Right, okay, good. So I think we're done. What time is it? Crikey, on time. Can you believe it?
No.
Just let me get rid of this. So John doesn't want any more chocolate cake. I would say he's gone through a fair bit of cake tonight behind the scenes. Not sure whether any of you heard. He's definitely gone through some cans of pop as well. I hope you enjoyed tonight's live. Back to basics. Sorry, I really shouldn't have put food in my mouth. Let me get rid of it. So I hope you've enjoyed what we've covered tonight. Let me know what you think. It's always great to see feedback. And I forgot to say hello, YouTubers. John was so bad. We really do forget. Have you been watching what's been going on YouTube? Who's been with us?
No.
Sorry, YouTubers. I am so bad. I always forget because I'm always looking at this camera. I know this one is connected to Facebook and then it links onto YouTube. So thank you for joining us. Let me know what you think of this live. I'm going to go and top up and put all the things on the website that I hadn't used before, that haven't gone into the Facebook's must-haves. So I'll put in the cupcake cases that I've used tonight in there. I'll put in the 2 nozzles that we haven't used, that we've used, and anything else that I can think of. Otherwise, we're going to see you on Monday night at 8 o'clock with Emily Coyle. She'll be here with a Swiss meringue buttercream, and I'm not sure what she's going to make, but it will be amazing. Whatever she does will always be amazing. So make sure you're back with us on Monday to join us at 8 o'clock. And thank you for joining John and I in the kitchen tonight, and go and enjoy all the lovely goodies in the sale. Is that us over and done, John? And don't forget to, oh, I haven't done the like and share. Okay. Thursday's like and share. Wait, don't go anywhere yet. Sorry. So last Thursday when John was in the kitchen, let me just go down, let me find it. So last Thursday's live, so we need to find the winner. This is when John and I were in the kitchen last week. I can't remember what we were making last week. So bad. What was we making last week? There we were. Live. That's Danielle's. John, what were we doing last week? Can you remember?
You were airbrushing.
Oh yeah, that's it, yeah. Those nice things there. Right, was that our live? Back to basic from Basics Buttercream, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Right, so we had 84 shares. Can you see on this camera?
No.
You not see?
No.
Right, okay. We had 84 shares. Let me look at the shares. So 84 shares. Let's get them all lined up. So I have to do this for a bit to get them all released. Just 1 second. pulling up the pages, because what happens is they don't all come up at first. I have to keep bouncing them. You see there's lots of them. There's 84 people there. Are you on this camera, John?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to stick your finger on one of them, John, as I spin it? Are you meant to do it while we're going? Who did you get then? Doreen.
Yeah.
Doreen Wallage, they are. So Doreen Wallage is the winner of our £25 voucher. And I had to laugh because there's Jules Brownell, one of our admins. Sorry, Jules, you just missed it. And there's Sarah Webster, either side, Lindsay Pearson. Anyhow, it's all fair. It's all about when we stick our finger on it. And Doreen Wallage is the winner of our £25 voucher. Doreen, all you need to do is go to our website, sugarandcrumbs.co.uk, go to info, send a message that you're the winner of the live for a £25 voucher, and we will email you over a code to use. Yeah, brilliant. So that's us over and done with. I am going to say goodbye because I need to finish off making these cakes for the night and cleaning up in the kitchen, so I reckon I'll be here till midnight. I'll see you on Monday.
Right, bye everyone.